Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. About 7 to 8 topics for this video and mostly from Ukraine, but one of them is from Yemen. The Americans attack Yemen again, the Houthis in Yemen, because we are at war with Yemen, undeclared war, but it's going like this since has been going like this for some time when the United States of America attacked other countries without a formal declaration of war, which they can do it for a certain amount of time, but this is a perpetual war, obviously. So what do we have here? We have the Ukrainians down about 56 Russian drones and some missiles in an overnight attack, coming from the Russians, obviously. Then we find out that actually Russia fired about 800 guided bombs and almost 400 drones in a week. Then the Ukrainians claim that the Russians attacked the port of Odessa, hitting a vessel. The Russians report on that vessel, but obviously the vessel is just a civilian vessel. The other guys say, yeah, it's civilian, but it had a military load. The Russians report that they attacked an airfield in the western part of Ukraine, the airfield that I think is used for F-16s. I'm going to have some maps over there. Then we have Medvedev, the crazy guy, who tells us that if Belarus is attacked, nuclear weapons will be used, regardless who attacks it. If it's going to be Ukraine, if it's going to be Poland, so he means business. The other one, we have, I called him brave because he's brave. Maybe he has some other qualities that are not considered qualities, but definitely he's brave. I'm talking about the Prime Minister of Slovakia, Mr. Robert Fico. I read a comment by someone who was telling me that Fico this and Fico that. Well, nobody's perfect, and let's focus on things that matter. All right, maybe he has got a 2-inch cock. Does that matter? All right, maybe it doesn't last more than 2 minutes. Does it matter? Is that important? For some it is. For some it's not. Well, for me it's not. All right, and we have the US warships and planes striking Houthi targets in Yemen. So let's start with the beginning, and I'm going to provide the evidence that the Ukrainian defenses shot down 56 Russian Shaheds. 4 more still in air. Here is the evidence. You got it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so here's the evidence, all right? Ukrainian air defenses units destroyed 2 Russian missiles and 56 Shahed loitering munitions over Ukraine on the night of 5 to 6 October and the morning of 6 October. In addition to the downed Shaheds, 25 drones, so in addition, disappeared from radar in 4 Ukrainian oblasts. 4 more UAVs are still in Ukrainian airspace and combat operations continue. So we got what? 56, and we got what? 4, that makes 60, 70, 85. So that's about 85 drones. Ukrainian air defense units were engaging the Russian Shaheds over Mykolaiv, Odessa, Kiev, Cherkasy, Kirovohrad, Dnipropetrovsk, Sumy, Chernihiv, Poltava, Vinnytsia, Khmelnytsky, that's where the airfield is, Zaporozhye, Zhytomyr, and Kharkiv Oblast. Basically, technically, is everywhere but here. So they stopped here. So Khmelnytsky, this is where the airfield is located, Zhytomyr, Vinnytsia, Kiev, Chernihiv, Sumy, Cherkasy, this is different county. This is Nikolaev, this is Odessa, Dnipropetrovsk, Zaporozhye. Then you got, I said, Kherson. All these things were hit. Attacked. And why? Because here is, again, evidence. Ukraine's defense forces shot down 56 Shahed drones, 2 Russian missiles overnight. Again, this is the evidence. It's the same thing that they 56, and then there were 25, right? And then 4. It says here, in total, the radio engineering forces of the Air Forces detected and tracked more than 90 enemy aerial targets, including 2 Iskander-M ballistic missiles, 1 Iskander-K cruise missile, 1 Kh-59-69 guided aerial missile, and 87 Shahed UAVs launched from Russia's Oryol, Primorsko-Akhtarsk, Kursk, the post reads. Okay, Oryol, Primorsko-Akhtarsk, and Kursk. I know where those guys are. All right, let's see. So we have Primorsko-Akhtarsk It's across from the Sea of Azov. It's right here. Primorsko-Akhtarsk. So they were from this region, across from the Sea of Azov. Then they say Kursk. Kursk is right here. I know that one too. Right here. And then you got Oryol right here. So in these three locations, Oryol Oblast, then Kursk Oblast, and then you got here Primorsko-Akhtarsk. All right. So that is what these guys report. And obviously destroyed right there. 2 missiles. 56 enemy strike zones were shot down in the same things. In addition, 25 UAVs disappeared from radar as a result of the Ukraine's electronic warfare. None of these guys hit a target. You got it? None. So you got what? 56, 76, 86, 91. 91? 81. Sorry. 56, Okay. 81 in Romanian. 81 drones were downed by these guys. All right, 81. But they say here that they were what? All right, they downed 87. Good for them. All right, let's see what Zelensky says. Ukrinform. Zelensky, Russia fired more than 800 guided bombs, almost 400 drones in Ukraine in a week. These guys still produce. During the week, Russian troops used about 20 missiles of various types, more than 800 guided aerial bombs, and almost 400 attack drones of various types on the territory of Ukraine. How do you like this? Ukrainian. All right, all Ukrainians here. So last night, air defense forces destroyed more than 50 Shaheds. We already know this one. The enemy used about 20 missiles of various types, more than 800 guided bombs, and almost 400 attack UAVs of various types during the week. All that, he informed. All right. Next one. Ukrinform. All right. Russia strikes cargo ship in Odessa region with Iskander-M missile. Where is that at? It's right here. Odessa region is by the Black Sea, by Romania, by Bessarabia. Here, right here. Here, right here. Good job, Emil. It's not going to be the last time anyway. Ooh, meow, meow. What do you want? You want to play? In Odessa region, a Russian missile attack damaged a civilian cargo ship. As a result of the attack, a civilian cargo ship was damaged. Fortunately, no one was injured. The report states, thank God. In Odessa, the attack also caused a fire in a warehouse covering the area of about 100 square meters. Firefighters quickly extinguished the blaze. Falling debris set a truck and some waste on fire, injuring one person. Shrapnel also damaged a gas pipeline, but the gas leak was promptly contained. Good for you. Now let's see what the Russians are saying about this one, right? Sputnik. Russia hits port in Odessa region during unloading of European munitions. Russian troops have destroyed a container ship with ammunition delivered to the Ukrainian armed forces from Europe during their unloading at the Yuzhny port of the Odessa region, the Russian Defense Ministry said on Sunday. So Yuzhny would be Odessa region. We already got Odessa here. Let's see if we can identify this somewhere. In Odessa region, it doesn't show it to me, but you gotta believe me, Odessa region, Odessa. There you go. Now Odessa, don't see it. Okay. Let's find it, all right? How about that one? And we got it, of course, but the Russians don't have it under Yuzhny, they have Yuzhny or something like that. So here, it is Yuzhnoye, this is the port. I'm guessing from this little map right there. Yuzhny, Odessa, right there. This is the Istanbul right here. This is the, how do you call it, Bosphorus and Dardanelles. So they come through this, get in the Black Sea. They don't come like this. Probably go like on the side of Bulgarian coast right here. This is Bulgaria here. This is Romania. Probably they come like this through the territorial waters so they cannot be hit. They're not going to come straight like that bullshit. And then they come over Red Rover, and once they enter here the Ukrainian location, they get shot down. That's how. So they have shorter location where they can be destroyed. So this is Yuzhny, and this is Yuzhnoye. This is a Russian map coming from Sputnik, obviously. So let's see what else these guys are saying. The Iskander-M missile defense system of the Russian armed forces launched a missile strike at the unloading site of a container ship with ammunition in the Yuzhny port of Novi Bilyari settlement. Odessa region, a naval vessel delivered a shipment of ammunition and weapons to the port of the Odessa region from Europe, the defense ministry said. The statement said the strike was carried out at the time of ammunition unloading and resulted in detonation of munitions, the ministry said, adding that the vessel caught fire. The Russian airspace forces, beep, beep, beep. Let's go and see what's going on with the next one. Sputnik. The Russians claim that the Russian forces strike Starokonstantinov Airfield, fuel base near Odessa. So, fuel base near Odessa, that's one, and this airfield. Now, where is that airfield located? This is the airfield. This is the airfield. Look over there, how many. Those are beautiful. Right there, waiting for the Russians to give them a kiss. So, a lot of them. The interceptors. Well, they're all docked over there. You can tell. Right here is a transport plane. Helicopters too, no, right? What's that? All right, that looks like a Tu-22 to me. You know, Tu-22 bomber, because of the wings that are retractable. When they want to get more speed, they go in a different angle, so they can attack. Maybe all right. So these are, look at them. They're sitting targets. What the hell? All right. So this is the location where the Russians claim they hit. This is the airfield where the F-16s. I got some more here. Let's see what we have here. This might be new ones. Maybe these are for the Ukrainians here underground right here. Is that underground? I don't know if these are for the planes or not. I don't know if they hangars. Yeah, that's what they are. Probably these are the new ones. F-16s come here. I don't know. We'll see. So this is the one. Where is this located? I'm gonna show you in Khmelnytsky is right here. So this is the oblast. It's a little bit north of Khmelnytsky. Let's go to the Russian map because it's very clear, very easy. Khmelnytsky is right here, and that airfield is right here. Starokonstantinov, and you see this little thing that you don't see over there? That's where this is here. Okay, so where is that located? In a big scheme of things, almost to the Polish territory right here by Lviv. This is going to be Poland land. Congratulations, my Polish friends. It's going to come sooner. If the Russians start advancing big time, you're going to invade here and protect civilian and your population, the Polish-speaking population from Ukraine. How come they ended up over there? And fuel base near Odessa. The Russian military also intercepted 3 HIMARS missiles and 68 fixed-wing drones. Russian forces struck a fuel base near Odessa and the Starokonstantinov airfield in the Khmelnytsky region over the past 24 hours, the Russian Ministry of Defense reported. And I'm quoting. Look at these baboons. Holy moly macaroni. Operational tactical aviation strike drones, missile troops, and artillery of the Russian armed forces targeted a fuel base near the city of Odessa, infrastructure at the Starokonstantinov airfield in the Khmelnytsky region, as well as UAV control points, concentrations of enemy manpower and military equipment in 137 areas. That means at least 137 targets were attacked. These guys come to see Zelensky as you bring the circus. And this guy's going to tell their children, everybody else, oh, look what, I saw Zelensky. And they're going to write in their little, whatever memoirs they met this bullshit. He's as tall as she is, Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's move on. Medvedev, Russia Today. Medvedev warns of grounds for Belarusian nuclear strikes on Ukraine. His words follow a recent call by a Kiev MP to move the war to Belarus. So an imbecile from Kiev said that, how about we can knock on heaven's door, Belarus. Minsk will have, and I'm quoting, full grounds to hit Kiev with nuclear weapons. Oh, we already know the target. if Ukraine moves to attack Belarus, Dmitry Medvedev, Russia's former president and current deputy head of the Security Council, has said. Medvedev was responding to statements made on Friday by Ukrainian MP Olga Dunda at an anti-Russia conference in Vilnius, Lithuania. Dunga suggested that Dunga was a Brazilian football player. Dunga, we got Duda. Suggested that it is critical to move the war not only to the territory of Russia's Bryansk and Kursk regions, but also to Belarus. This is what Dunda said. And I'm deeply confident if we enter Belarus, with relatively small units, the Belarusian army will lay down its weapons. This is not even confidence. This is knowledge, the MP claimed. So if I'm deeply confident that if we enter, these guys will lay down knowledge. And it's not confidence, this is knowledge, that guy said. And said, adding that this would be a gut punch to Russia. Responding to Dunda's remarks on the Telegram channel on Sunday, Medvedev said such an incursion would promptly trigger a nuclear response. And I'm quoting, some stinking Kiev Dunga again, Jesus Christ, I apologize, Dunda suggested moving the war to Belarus. Well then, Alexander Grigorievic Lukashenko, Belarusian president, will have full grounds to ask Russia to use the tactical nuclear weapons deployed in Belarus. He stated, Russia is currently finalizing an updated version of its nuclear doctrine. The update was proposed by President Putin earlier this month amid the growing involvement of Western nuclear powers in the Ukraine conflict. It says here also, Medvedev, there is always a limit to patience. Patience is a virtue, but imbecility is not. So yeah, as Russia's closest ally, Belarus has supported Moscow throughout the Ukraine conflict. Much of the chagrin of Kiev, Minsk does not have its own atomic arsenal. But 2023, Putin ordered Russian tactical nuclear weapons to be stationed in Belarus. Lukashenko recently warned that any violation of the country's border would cross a red line and prompt Minsk to deploy nuclear weapons. And I'm quoting, as soon as they attack us, we use nuclear weapons. And Russia gets involved for us. Lukashenko said last week, warning that the entire situation could then spiral out of control, triggering a new world war. Remember that movie, The Wedding Crashers, with a Jewish actor, Ben Stiller, and I think the guy, I can't remember his name, but the guy who played with Jackie Chan in Shanghai, whatever, Wilson Owens, something like that. The funny guy over there. Remember when he said that he plays like a Texan guy with a hat, Ben Stiller, and he's do it, Ukrainians, at the orders of the Western guys who are just want to see what happens to you, not to them, to you, imbeciles. Don't do it. I suspect that at one point there will be a military insurrection in Ukraine. When shit will hit the fan, I don't have a fan, but anyway, or that fan, and when shit hits the fan, then it's gonna be like that, and the Russians will wait and will just strategically reposition their troops and will invade, and then the Poles will invade from the west, saying we're gonna defend freedom, democracy, and we're gonna just make sure that you don't fall under the evil Russians. They're gonna meet them in the middle, like the Soviets, bad people, with the Nazis, bad people, right? Poland, September 1st, 1939. You do the same thing? No, you won't do the same thing. Oh, wait, you already did it with Czechoslovakia. Oh, you don't like that one? I know you have all your justifications and all that, but hey, the truth is the truth. Anyway, my friends, I'm kidding, but you know I'm not. Let's go to this ballsy guy from Slovakia. Russia Today, 5th of October 2024. NATO states Prime Minister to visit Russia for Victory Day. And he's going to use the same argument, partly, to the argument that I make about courage. If my enemy employs courage, even against me, to hurt me, courage is courage. I will, I don't want to say admire that, but I will recognize that it was a courageous act, even if I get knocked out. That's the way it is, because values are values. quality is quality regardless who uses it. And virtues are virtues. And courage is one of the four ancient Greek capital virtues, or is that how we call them? All right, let's see what this guy says. Slovakia's Robert Fico said the celebration should have nothing to do with present-day conflicts. Well, the same thing as the Germans right now, are not blamed every minute for the Second World War and all that thing. Oh, they are? Oh, my bad. Whenever they want to extract something from them through blackmail, they use the Second World War, and the Germans, for no fucking reason, are just feeling guilty of something. You have no guilt. Did you do anything? Did you personally do anything? No, so shut the fuck up. Go over there and smack the baboons over their heads. All right, let's move on. You know what I mean. Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico on Saturday announced his intention to visit Moscow to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the defeat of Nazi Germany. Speaking to the host of the Saturday Dialogues show on Slovakia's RTVS radio, Fico said the event should have nothing to do with today's conflicts. And I'm quoting, "Who will stop me this year?" Oh, don't say that. It's like, I dare you. Oh, you've seen what happened. Oh, no, don't do it. Anyway, but that tells me he's courageous. When it will be the 80th anniversary of the end of the World War II, from going to a peaceful demonstration in Moscow, I think I will go. And why wouldn't I go? What does it have to do with the present time? End quote. Fico stated, responding to a question from the host about his possible attendance. Fico said he would not let anyone forget that, and I'm quoting, freedom comes from the East. Apparently referring to the liberation of Slovakia from Nazi occupation by the Soviet army in the spring of 1945. Yeah, it's true, but it was not freedom that came from the East. It was the Russian army, and I'm sorry, I need not a punch in the face, I need a kick in the balls. That's what I need. It's not the Russian army, it was the Red Army, but it started with an R. Founded by Mr. Leon Bronstein. You know who that is? His name is Trotsky. Yeah, he founded the Bolshevik army. The Red Army was put together. He was the first general over there. He invaded Ukraine. He tried Poland as well. Yeah, that Trotsky. That everybody, they make movies on him. He was assassinated in, I'm not saying I agree with that, but nevertheless, that's between those two, which is that Stalin and Trotsky, right? He was assassinated in Mexico City. And we have movies even playing what's his name. And we have all these, Trotsky. Trotsky was a freaking criminal, okay? He was a communist criminal who asked for money from New York bankers to go and start the Bolshevik Revolution after the Russian Revolution. So that's your Trotsky. And not only that, just read what he wrote about the Romanians, about the Poles, about everybody else. But the book. Why do I do this? I don't know. But anyway, because I think it's like Kyokushin shit. Anyway, so here it is, my friends. I'm not done yet. So I don't think freedom came, not freedom, liberation came. The problem is that the free world dropped Czechoslovakia, and in this case, Slovakia, dropped it in the hand of those evil Gruzins, Georgian Stalin, with his guys as well, with Kaganoviches, with all these guys, Yogodas, with all those guys in charge. Not with the Russians, all right? Not with the Russians, right? And they brought garbage and they never left. Why didn't they leave? Because the West sold you out. They said, no. How come? Sit down here, Stalin. We're going to divide. This is you, this is me. We're good. But when the other guy, the evil guy, Adolf, said, you know what? I'm going to divide it. Niet. Why not? Well, because it was not these guys dividing it. It was the German people dividing it. Like right now, it's the Russian people dividing it with the Americans. That's what it is. The Chinese have their own thing in the East. But here is between Russia and Anglo-Saxon. I'm not talking about the Brits, because the Brits are just in the leash following like a little dog. Sorry, you don't think that's the case? I think that's the case. Nevertheless, let's see what do we have here. Well, let's go to the next article. It's better like that. And this is the last topic for this video. BBC. US warships and planes strike Houthi targets in Yemen. I have a map as well. The US military, for whom do these guys strike Yemen and the Houthis? Don't give me the for the good, because if they were for the good, they would look for Washington DC as well to talk with those guys, and not only. If it's for the good, they will take care of other things in the Middle East. The opposite they are taking care of right now. I'm not saying they should support Hezbollah or Hamas. No. But you support something else. All right. So remember, these guys, our military, in our name, hits those guys. And those guys will hit you and I. They will try to hit you and I. And what are we going to do? Then they're going to say, we've been attacked. They've been attacked. That infamous day. Remember? December 7th, 1941. This day will live in infamy. Why is that? Well, the Japanese attacked our fleet in Hawaii Islands, right, in Pearl Harbor. Really? That's where the history starts for you? Yeah, that's why they want to make it. The same thing with JFK and Khrushchev. They want to start it when they like it and end it when they like it. Not with a beginning. It's a beginning and an ending. That is not very nice for the guys who make history here. The same over there. Oh, October 7th started all. Really? Like, I go to the Balfour Declaration. That's where I go, right? And even before that, go to the former Prime Minister of Great Britain. Wasn't he Prime Minister? Mr. Disraeli? Right. I remember that I read something that he said at one point. He said, the people who really are in charge of UN are not really like you and I. Not really like you and I. What does it mean? Oh, well, must be the reptilians. He knew it back then. Oh, man, let's go here. The US military says it has launched strikes on Iranian-backed Houthi group in Yemen, hitting 15 targets. Why? Yemen has something against us personally, or against us because through someone else? Well, you have to help your friends until you get it. The Pentagon said it used aircraft and warships to launch the attacks in order to, and I'm quoting, to protect freedom of navigation. It was the protection of certain kind of, the Houthis said they will hit certain kind of vessels. Do you remember what vessels? Belonging to whom exactly? So it was not about the freedom of navigation. It was about a certain country's ships that do something to some people over there that are helpless. Right? Well, Houthis intervene for their friends, so therefore the Americans intervene here. Yeah, but don't sell me this to protect freedom of navigation. And who made you the police officer of this planet, by the way? Anybody voted for you since you fucking like democracy so much? Nobody. So shut the hell up. I mean, if we are to be fair and just and open and free, then let's say it as it is. You like democracy? Let's vote. How can you vote? I mean, I punch you in the face right now. You don't vote. I vote. And not even vote. I appoint myself. I identify as. But hey, the self-identification goes as far as they allow it. Who's they? The guys in charge of us. All right, so where did that happen? Let's see. And here they make the point, right? Because history starts only here. Since November, the Houthis have launched attacks on around 100 ships in the Red Sea, sinking 2 vessels. That's where this is where the history starts for these guys. The same thing with Khrushchev and JFK. The history started when the Americans placed Jupiter nuclear missiles in Turkey and Italy. Nuclear warheads. And Khrushchev, the chief, I don't call him president, secretary general of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, Khrushchev told JFK, take your freaking Jupiters, nuclear warheads, take your rockets out. And the American says exactly what they told Putin these days. Go and play at a different table. Paganini a little bit. Some capricci. All right? And Khrushchev said, yeah, you don't want to do that? Okay, we're going to make you. And what happened? They took them 6 months after that Cuban Missile Crisis. So who won? Who won? But they tell you, they start from this to his. Again, Russians. The Soviets were sending that's why the lie goes. They deployed nuclear bombs, missiles in Cuba. There was no nuclear missile deployed in Cuba. No nuclear with no warheads. There was no nuclear anything in Cuba. Oh, because we caught them. How do you catch them? with those pictures. Have you seen those pictures? I've seen them. They're available. You see the tubes right there. They couldn't put them underneath. No, they were right out there so you can see them. These guys, Khrushchev wanted these guys to see it. Why? So he can negotiate. And that's exactly what happened. And who lost? You took your Jupiters out. That's exactly what Khrushchev wanted. How? He did the same thing to you, and you didn't like it a bit. So it's the same with this one. It's the ships, sinking, and this is the history. That's right there. That's where the history starts. The same with October 7th. And why would I care? That's between those two guys, or those guys over there. But hey, we are involved. Remember the Balfour Declaration? Starts there. I mean, starts there. There is where these guys came out and said, all right, let's pull our strings and our and newspapers, and we're going to do this. Thank you very much for being with me again today. But before that, let's see what these guys are saying. I want to see where they hit, if they say. They don't say. No, they don't say where it was hit. But nevertheless, Central Command, which oversees U.S. operations, said the attacks targeted weapon systems, bases, and other equipment belonging to the Houthis. Houthi-aligned media say the Yemeni capital of Sana'a was among cities hit. And that's it. So let me show you the map. And this is where these guys say it was hit. That's a cat. What are you doing there? So Sana'a is in the western part of Yemen, right here. So this area among the cities that were hit. This is the Middle East. And you got the reason why we are doing this, protect navigation, is because of this. Well, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. See you later.